Thank you very much for that introduction, President Sillo. I must now learn to call other fellows now President, not just Chair. Comrade General Secretary Muhau and the rest of the district office bearers who have elected, all of you dear delegates to this Congress, thank you very much for inviting me to address this historic Congress to launch DEMAWUSA. Never in my life did I anticipate that someday I will be honoring an invitation to a launch of a new union splintering away from a COSATU affiliate. Worst of all, moving away from a union like SAMA, which is a proud product of measures driven in the early years of the formation of COSATU, whose founding president, Petrus Mashishi, received the highest honor from COSATU and the highest honor COSATU gives to any individual, the Elijah Bakai Award, for leading the union with such breathtaking and outstanding example of pure and unparalleled service to municipal workers. He, together with his collective, led the union sum to having a 170 million rands plus in reserves. Sadly and criminally, today the union is bankrupt and is struggling to pay its staff. A union that for so many years epitomized the best of our traditions of worker control, militant fighting, socialist orientated, which was so organizationally and financially sound. The launch of your union underlines a moment of tragedy, but also the need to embrace the reality as we face today. Today, I'm not only speaking to you as the delegates to this conference, but I'm also speaking to every progressive trade union movement or component of the trade union movement, both within and outside our country. Let us again tell a story of the tragedy unfolding in the face or in our face. In particular, with regard to the once mighty federation we built, we loved, our federation, COSATU. This is not just a story of the unions, as we have said. This is the story of how other organs of the people's power have been domesticated. This is the story of my address today. And I want to use this opportunity to re-emphasize the salient points that we have been making about this unfolding tragedy, not only affecting our unions, but our country as a whole. It is as if we are being hit by a wave of a tsunami. Our unions are in tatters. Our youth, women, and civic organizations are a pale shadow of what they used to be. Our Chapter 9 institutions and the judiciary are under a relentless attack. Our security apparatus, as well as the other law enforcement are in disarray, with the golden handshakes being used to remove competent officials and being replaced with psychopaths. Most of the state-owned enterprises are in turmoil. And let me begin my speech to you today by reading you very slowly the letter that I wrote to the SAMU National Office bearers on behalf of the COSATU National Office bearers in order to underline the point we are making. This letter was written to the SAMU Deputy General Secretary at the time when the General Secretary was supposed to be away on sick leave. It was dated the 6th of November 2014. So it read as follows: Dear Mayor, allegations and the situation in SAMU. You will recall that the COSATU National Office bearers met with the SAMU National Office bearers on the 31st of August, where the SAMU National Office bearers were given an opportunity to respond to the issues raised in the memorandum received by us from aggrieved members on the 19th of June 2014, as well as the press reports. It was agreed that at the end of the meeting that you would provide a detailed response in writing, especially in relation to the following: the allegations in the memorandum and the Mail and Guardian, supporting documentation, including minutes of the meeting and policies, evidence of the formation of another union being formed, and accusations of violence. The specific allegations that we sought answers to were the following. 1. That shop clerks and staff have been unconstitutionally suspended, dismissed or expelled from the union for seeking clarification on the state of the union finances and or demanding a forensic audit. 2. That the leadership has mishandled the wage care agreement. 3. That the union NOPs have made false allegations about the intention of the dismissed workers and suspended to establish a rival union and a political party. 4. That that a clearance certificate for occupation of the renovated head office has not been issued to the union. 5. Various financial allegations, and here are those allegations. That's in now 8. The approved budget for the renovation of the head office building was 13 million, but a further 19 million rands was spent unauthorized by the CC. B. That despite the 32 million spent, much of the work remains incomplete and shoddy, e.g. the windows and the roof leak. There is no kitchen on some of the floors, although they are paid for. Furniture has not been supplied from many offices, though paid for, and the fire escape is faulty. C. That a contract for photocopiers was signed with a company called Public, despite the fact that the Union's Finance Committee had shortlisted 2 other companies called the Pen Solutions and the Kaisira, and that price of public contract way exceeded the price quoted by the 2 shortlisted companies. D, that the appointment of Mpamba Solutions at the cost of 400,000 a month was not authorized by the CC. E, that 3 successive CCs instructed the NOPs to terminate the contract of Mpamba Solutions, which instructions was ignored. F, that the union accounts are being managed by Mpamba Solutions in a manner which is unconstitutional, i.e. that Mpamba has a full use of the NOP signatory codes for electronic payments. G, that the Mpamba Solutions arrangement presents a conflict of interest as the company is both managing finances and is the service provider for management of the building renovations, including sourcing of the subcontractors. H, that Mpamba Solutions have been paid penalty fees of around 10 million rands to pay for the building or for the building subcontractor. I, that the money has been moved from union accounts without the necessary authorization of constitutional structures. K, that there has been a substantial drop in the reserve funds from 177 million rands in December 2012 to 50 million rands in March 2014. L, that the NOPs over a long period have refused to provide bank statements to the Finance Committee for the CEC and the staff members work in their accounts. M, that the 2013 audit has not been completed even though the due date has passed. And that an undisclosed amount of union funds have been used to pay for the services of the bodyguard of the Deputy General Secretary. O, that the union funds have been used without the necessary authorization to pay for a bodyguard to accompany the Deputy General Secretary to Brazil to a meeting of the BRICS Trade Union Summit, and that the flights cost the union an excessive 112,000 rands. In addition, that the union spent in Brazil was an unexplained 7 nights for 4 days more than the duration of the meeting, resulting in accommodation cost of 33,600 rands. Q, or P, that payments have been made to 2 firms of attorneys, one called Zwelinzima Attorneys and Matsepe Attorneys, who have not performed any legal services for the union and whose existence is in question. Q, that the salaries of the General Secretary, the Deputy General Secretary, and certain provincial secretaries have been restructured to benefit them financially without the necessary authority of the CEC. Then we said, we would also like to know if it is true that there is currently a police investigation underway into the financial allegations. I wrote to you on 2 occasions to secure this information on behalf of the Commissioner of Addreas. A file was delivered to our offices labeled for the Sambo Special CC held on the 22nd of August 2014. An explanatory note or any index which cross-references the allegations contained in the memorandum received did not accompany the file. It has therefore been impossible for us to use the file as a set of response to the allegations. The COSATU NOPs were confronted with a situation at the Gauteng Shopstart Council where workers publicly demanded an answer to the memorandum. As a result, the COSATU NOPs held an informal meeting with the group of Gauteng Shopstarts after the decent work march held after the Shopstart Council meeting. The COSATU NOPs are extremely concerned that the situation in Samu appears to be escalating to the point where over 100 workers and staff are allegedly dismissed, expelled, and or suspended. That the COSATU NOPs are now of the view that we must meet and listen formally to both sides in order to ensure fair process. The COSATU NOPs will set up a formal meeting with the representatives of the national group of aggrieved Samu members in the near future. And they will be asked to substantiate their claims in writing. We are aware of the outcome of the recent court case and have noted that it has been reported that someone has appealed the decision. We request you to share the application with us so that we can be appraised of the basis of the appeal and what are the implications might be. We look forward to further engagement with some Minister of Addreas and hope that a solution can be, or a solution of the apparent crisis is found soon. We request your maximum cooperation in our efforts and to assist in this regard. Yours, comradely, Zwelinzima Vavi, General Secretary of COSATU, signed. This is an important letter because it's a very historic letter, and I felt that I must read it as it is to all of you and to the rest of the world so that we can see the connection between everything that appears to be so abnormal happening in our country and in our trade union movement. Thank you. There was no response to this letter. Instead, purging of those who had marched or raised these matters within the union structures continued unabated. COSATU's NOPs do not do anything collectively to stop the purges. Instead, the COSATU president was typical of his time, behind our backs, reaching out to the Samu NOPs to build bridges with a union whose leadership had previously taken